right, I hope everybody's doing well, and I apologize. Time got right here on top of us. I've actually got 4:31, so we're a minute behind, so again, I do apologize. We do have copies of our agenda up on the table up here. We've got extra copies available. If you'd like to have a copy, we do have those. Today is it's Monday, June 5th, and we've got a few things on our agenda, and in particular, not only into a call meeting, we also have a presentation of a proposed budget that will be conducted by our staff here in a few minutes. And then I'll open up the floor for a public hearing to give you, as the citizens of the county, an opportunity to make any comments, if you would, regarding the budget that is presented. And if you would, let's rise and pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time on item 3, our invocation by the White County Ministerial Alliance. Pastor Tim Morgan of Faith Lutheran. Pastor Tim, would you bless these proceedings?
You'll give us grace if we don't show sometime, because we got 2 here today.
Well, we got double blessings.
There you go. Please join me as we ask God's blessing. All-powerful and ever-living God, as the events of the past few weeks again have shown us, this fallen world can be a dangerous place filled with mayhem, violence, and murder. This day and every day we ask your tender mercies for the communities and families devastated by war and senseless terrorism. You alone are our refuge and strength and ever-present help in all kinds of trouble. And we ask your protection and care globally, nationally, but especially here locally in this treasured community we call home. We thank you this day for your gift of summer, and we pray for the continued moderate temperatures and drought-fighting rainfall, and praise you for this weather that is favorable for agriculture, commerce, and recreation. Father, I pray your special blessing on these servant leaders of White County, that they would be gifted with discernment, honesty, and integrity. In all of their words and actions, may you guide them. May the decisions that they reach be godly and wise. Open their hearts and minds to your will for this community and lead them into a spirit of charity and justice. Direct us that all of our communication this day would be clear, productive, and honest. Help us to remain grateful for these many freedoms that we enjoy at your hand, and for that generous portion of your amazing grace that enables us to live and work together in unity and peace. Amen.
All right, moving on to our agenda, item 4, consider adoption of the May 1st, 2017 regular meeting minutes, as well as the May 22nd, 2017 work session and the call meeting, including executive session minutes. Gentlemen, I presume you've had an opportunity to review those minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
I have a question. Over on the May the 22nd meeting, on page 2 up there, did you, you did vote on that, did you? On a motion to appoint you to?
No, I didn't.
You were recused from that.
Here.
It says on here that you voted.
Shannon, need to make that change.
Okay.
On page 2, both Commissioner Nix and Commissioner Bryant excuse themselves because he's the appointee. He works for the Water Authority.
That's the only thing else.
Okay.
I'll make that change.
Motion approved, and then
All right, got a motion, Commissioner Bryant, to approve with that amendment.
Second.
Commissioner Goodger, second. Hold on 1 second. All right. Any other discussion with the board? Or have none, on favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Thank you. Right now, I do not have any acknowledgments or proclamations. At our previous meeting, we had a very lengthy meeting and had several things going on, so don't have any of those tonight. Moving on to item 5, presentation of the proposed fiscal year 2017-2018 budget. Mr. Melton, you have the hill.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. This is the proposed FY 2018 budget. The guidance from the board has been to fund all capital items out of SPOS. No millage increase, and to use available fund balance to fund any shortfall that we may have when we get a final tax digest. Just a little bit of history. I wanted to just show you the millage rate over the past 5 years. As you can see, it's been pretty flat. 9.19, 9.168, it went down a little bit in 15 or 14, 15 and 16, and it went up slightly, 0.83 mils last year. In the 2017 year, 9.99. Also, a little history on the county's general fund, going back to 2013. See our amended budget that year was $14,772,918. And it was $16 million, $15 million, $15,800, and then last year it was $16,324,730. Okay, to kind of go through the different expenditures, each area, you see here all the different funds. We'll go through each one of these funds individually, but this is kind of an overall slide on expenditures for this year's budget.
Just kind of, if you'll bring that microphone a little closer to you, I don't know if everybody can hear you very well.
Is that better?
Yes. Y'all got it? Everybody got your ears on?
The 2018 general fund proposed budget is $16,938,774. This is broken down by functions. It's kind of a pie chart to show what each one of the different areas, which we'll go over those individually as well in a moment. You can see the largest being public safety at 48.2%. And then the next one being general government at 22.4%. And then we split it up from there. Agriculture is one of the areas, extension service and Georgia forestry. It's only 0.3% of the budget. It's one of the smaller areas for expenditure. Judicial is 9.7% of the budget. You see here the different expenditures for the different courts, magistrate court, superior court, juvenile court, DA's office, and so forth. Total $1,644,981. Then we have culture and recreation. That's split between the park and rec department and the library. Park and rec at 553, 657, and the library 287, 527. It's 5% of the budget. Then we have housing and development, which comprises building inspections, community and economic development, planning, and code enforcement. It's $429,941. It's 2.5% of the total budget. Then we have general government, which is the second largest area of expenditure, 22.4%, comprises $3,791,145, and then it's split up. Each one of those areas are split up between different departments that you see listed to the right. And that includes $400,000 in contingency funds. Then we have health and welfare, which is primarily the senior center and public health. three smaller areas of expenditure. Family connection and needed part of the family services. It's 3.3% of the budget. It's $566,636. Then we move on to public safety, which, as I said earlier, is the largest expenditure in the budget. It's 48.2%. A little over $8 million. Comprises animal control, coroner, detention center, the sheriff's office, EMS, EMA, 911, and the fire department. Those are all the individual expenditures on the right, or the budgets on the right for those departments. And public works, 8.6% of the budget, $1,450,192. All that is in the road department. Then we have special revenue funds. These funds are funds that are basically in and out funds. They're oftentimes referred to as special funds or funds that we can't spend. We can't spend that money for other things because they're restricted. In most cases, they're enterprise type funds. That total budget is $4,214,670. And that comprises the 2018 proposed budget for both general funds and separate funds. General fund being $16,938,774, separate funds being $4,214,670 for a total budget of $21,153,444. Just as a note of comparison, gentlemen, last year's amended budget was $16,324,730, and this year's proposed general fund budget is $16,938,774, which is $614,044 more, or 3.63%. In your folders, you have a comparison from last year to this year, and you have significant increases in that folder. Just a few of which I'll go over for you. The largest being healthcare, which was almost $200,000 additional healthcare cost. We had additional pay increases for law enforcement, which was $65,000. Firefighter cancer bill, which was a state mandate, was $18,000. We had some full-time positions that you tentatively approved, one being the sheriff's office at $53,000, one being in the clerk's office at $42,000, and one part-time position for the magistrate court at $17,000. You also chose to restore the road department's gravel budget, which was an additional $50,000. And we had some increase in park and rec, which was $25,000. So you see there, those are all the significant increases which comprise that $614,000 increase in our budget this year. And just to do a brief recap, the 2018 proposed budget at $16,938,774, and our 2018 proposed revenues as we know them right now. Of course, we do not have a final tax digest, so we don't know the exact amount that the tax digest will bring in. But as we know it now, it's $15,873,046. And that leaves us a little over $1 million, $1,065,728 that we need to balance the budget. We're proposing to use that out of fund balance that would still retain 2.3 months of reserve funds, about $3,280,000 would be left in reserves. And then depending on the final tax digest numbers, obviously the board has can decide whether they need to or want to increase the millage, make any reductions in the budget, or use additional fund balance. Gentlemen, that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, I'd be glad to answer.
All right, thank you, Mr. Melton. Gentlemen, do you have any comments at this moment for Mr. Melton or Ms. Vicky, Finance Department, or anyone? All right. Well, having none, we're going to move on in our agenda. Item 6, conduct a public hearing on the proposed fiscal year 2017-2018 budget. How this kind of operates, if you haven't had an opportunity to attend the meeting before, we open the floor up, and if you'll raise your hand, I will get to you as quickly as I can. We will push the podium back closer to the back, so we try to make this less intimidating, shall we say. And you as citizens have an opportunity to make your comments regarding the presentation that was made, or any comments you'd like to say, good to the cause, or concerns you may have. And I just need to get your name and address so that we'll have that for the record. So, Mr. Tom, if you would push that a little further back, and unless Dean with WRWH wants to make any comments, I'm going to push that a little further back.
Right there.
Okay. All right. At this time, I'll open the floor. If you got anything you'd like to say, raise your hand, and if you'll come to the podium and get you on record, we would appreciate it. Mr. Neal.
I'm Jimmy O'Neill. Is that on?
Yes.
Hold on. Go ahead. Say that one more time.
I'm Jimmy O'Neill.
All right. Give me your address, Mr. O'Neill.
It's 192 Spencer Road, Cleveland, Georgia, and District 3.
Yes, sir.
I have some concerns, and I really am worried about bringing down the reserve fund. That was brought down last year too, right?
Yes, sir.
And
It
the
was
previous
during the budget preparation, but after the audit was done, the fund balance ended up being, what was it, went back to 3.3 months, once the final audit was completed by our external auditor.
But this will bring it down to 2.3, as it's proposed now.
That's correct.
And we are in good times. We have low unemployment. The economy is strong, and we're drawing down the reserve funds in good times. And there's going to be bad times in front of us. There's a recession out there. I don't know where it is. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. And during good times, we should be building our reserve fund, not drawing it down. Because I don't know if you five will be on the board when that recession comes, but whoever is, that board is going to be really an intolerable situation, and this board is creating it. And I really would prefer to have an increase in taxes now, in millage, when times are good, than to have an increase in millage when times are bad, when people are suffering. I'm also concerned about the employees of White County. Except for the sheriff's department, I'm not aware of any raises anytime recently over the past several years. I mean, are we taking, as a citizen, I feel I'm the employer of these workers. And are they getting raises? And if they're not, I mean, are we competitive? And if people leave their positions, can we replace them with other people because we have competitive compensation? And I saw that board out there with all those openings. And a couple of weeks ago in the newspaper, I read that you have positions you can't fill because the compensation is not up. which means you probably need to raise the millage and give these people a raise, not only to keep the workers you've got now, but to find new workers to replace the ones that leave. And, you know, I have compassion for you guys, because I understand if you raise taxes, people are gonna come after you. But I think we can sell this to the community. We can explain why the taxes are going up. The workers for White County are citizens of White County, at least most of them are probably. We should look after our fellow citizens. And so I'm asking you to consider raising millage, and I don't mean up to 10. I say you get about $800,000 per mill, right? So you probably have to raise it a good 4 or 5 mills to get anywhere. And you might as well bite the bullet and do it, and take care of our people and prepare for the future. Build that reserve, don't take it down, please. You know, I've had my say.
Mr. Mill, thank you. Yes, sir.
Mr. Wood,
Yeah. Let me push it, I need to get you on the record, I'm sorry.
Cloud Wood,
All right. Mr. Wood, your address, please?
463 Dean Mountain Road, Cleveland, Georgia.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wood.
This is my first time to meet here in White County. But I noticed on the list in the 5 years, indicated that this county had spent $3 million more than we did 5 years ago. Is that correct?
Mr. Melton?
No, sir.
Approximately.
I think you're referring to the budget from 2013. The approved budget was $13,235,541.
What did we actually spend in 2013 total?
I don't have those numbers in front of me.
Would anybody have those numbers? in White County?
We have those numbers, but I don't have them.
You furnish those numbers to the commissioners?
Sure.
Have you in the past?
Yes, we have in the past. I don't have the budget. I would have to go back and pull the budgets for 2013 to tell you exactly how much we spent. That was the approved budget, but I don't know how much we spent.
What's the difference between the approved budget and the total expenses paid? I
The
noticed
budget,
it
the
was
budget
listed
is,
twice.
the budget begins the budget year. At the end of the budget year, then that number, the expenditures of what you actually spend are different than what was budgeted.
Which is normal, but you have two figures, 16,299,000, and then you have another figure, 20,100,000.
Well, one is the general fund, and the other one has separate funds. Those separate funds are enterprise funds. They're not, those dollars come from someplace else
But
other
there
than,
is a
other
budget.
than ad valorem tax.
There is a budget.
Yes, sir. I'm not
Why
sure what
is
you're
that
asking.
not included in the total budget? That additional 4 million?
Because they're separate funds.
Well,
And those funds fund certain things. It's in and out fund. Those funds are restricted.
well, but the budget is for White County, is it not?
It is.
It's not split out. One piece there, Kensington here, and Helen there.
No, sir.
So it's all in one figure.
It's all in one figure, yes, sir.
What is the total amount that we're,
The total
budgeting for?
budget right up there, sir, is 21,153,444.
was there a planned use of the 1,000 acres that this county obtained from the state about a year ago?
Yes, sir. There is a plan for that.
Was it published for the citizens?
We have had public meetings on it, yes, sir.
Was the planned use say out for 10 years or 50 years, was that published and available for the taxpayers of White County?
We don't have a quote-unquote published plan. We have a plan, and we had public meetings concerning that. And we had that information available. If you would like to have it, we'd be glad to provide it to you.
But there was a plan as to the amount of money that it would require, because the state, they had that land for years and years, that 1,000 acres.
We haven't done any cost estimates in the future for that property, if that's what you're asking.
Well, was the 800,000 that was spent during 2015, was that a part of the budget proposed in 2015, I'm sorry?
The
The amount of money that was spent on that land, or obligated for that land, was that obligated prior to 2016?
We haven't made any obligations in that amount for that property.
What was
We
spent for that?
issued bonds, we recently issued bonds for that property in the amount of $4 million.
Which are loans,
Yes,
and that was a loan for just that 1,000 acres?
yes, sir. To
And that's the
build
only
rec-
place it's going to be used for?
Yes, sir, to build ball fields on that property. Yes, sir.
Ball fields and a bridge?
Ball fields. No, the bridge was, the money that was spent on the bridge was spent out of special purpose local option sales tax.
So we're going to have $4 million to spend on that. You see, why I'm talking about that is the state obviously didn't have the money to develop that property for use as a recreation area. And the taxpayers of White County have a recreation area where soccer and other things are played. But and if there was no planned expenditure, and then for 2016 we spent $800,000 to try to get that ready.
We didn't spend $800,000 in 2016 on that property.
What is the bridge going to cost?
The bridge has already been paid for. It was $500,000.
Yeah, and that bridge was paid out in cash. That was money that the county had in our
Well, it was
coffers.
still taxpayer money.
That's correct, but it was paid for. It was not a loan. It was issued through bonds. It was all paid for out of special purpose local option sales tax.
Right, but it is a part of the total amount spent in White County for
That's correct.
the use of that 1,000 acres.
The access point, yes, sir. It was paid for.
Access,
Yes.
whatever you want to call it. Which the state had not done that in the past because that was it.
Well, the access point is coming through our existing rec department. All right, to have a consolidated location to access the 1,000 acres, the board felt it was best to have one central location to access the future plans, whether it's this board or future boards, in the construction of those fields, to have a central location for safety purposes, access, et cetera. So that's why the board last year decided to go ahead, because to access it from the existing property that we already have as the county, we had to have a bridge. So I hope that helps a little bit.
We had to have a bridge.
Yeah, there's a creek in the way, yes, sir.
To access the 1,000 acres.
From the existing recreation complex.
Right. And so the purpose of that bridge was to get to that property, that 1,000 acres, right?
Okay. From the existing recreation facility, yes.
Right. Which we're still using.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Are we going to demolish that recreation area that is being used now?
This commission chairman won't be voting for that, no, sir.
Well, in the plans, what were the plans made to use that existing recreation area? In the plans that he says that were made, what were the plans for that
To
existing?
continue using those same fields, we're squeezed for space. our programs have grown to a point that we need more space. We need a little higher quality of facilities for our youth and adults to be playing in. So we're not going to just demolish anything, the plans right now. We're going to build additional ball fields, baseball, softball complex with a proposed football field on the 1,000 acres that you'll access from the bridge that is already constructed. It's in place. We'll be using the other fields that are existing. We can use those for practice fields, the other ball games. They'll still be there. Then we'll I call it have our nicer facility for tournaments, games, etc.
Well, in 5 years, again, we've increased in White County from here to here. That has not been in relation to the growth of White County during the 5 years. It has not been increased because of increased businesses in this county. When our news media, when the media says that the biggest business in White County is our school district, it boggles the mind to think, well, good night. We're increasing our expenditures in our school district. And I personally found 10 years ago about all the fraud that took place, took it to the district attorney and took it to the Republican Party, but neither chose to act on that fraud that went on. And I just don't believe that elected officials are acting like the citizens who are concerned about our cost and where we're going to be next year, 5 years, 50 years from now, realizing that the swamp in Washington, it covers the entire world. It's not isolated just for Washington. It's right here in White County. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. All right.
Hi, I'm Diane Mize. I've been an artist for all my life, and I've been an art teacher for well over 50 years. First in high school, then in college, and then in my own school. And now I'm teaching online. I have people who ask me, can I do some of these tips about video? So this begins a new series. Over here and do this. And we stroke it in. Now, if we surround that gray with any color, the complement, the gray will take on the complement of that color. In this case, we're going to be using black, white with a little black in it for the sky. In other words, we're going to be insisting that the black play the role of blue. Check every week to see what new video idea we've come up with. Enjoy these, and let us hear from you.
Let me get around the room before we go back to the second time. All right. Anyone else?
Can I make a comment? As a member of the media, we never said that the schools is the biggest business in the county. As far as I know, it's tourism and agriculture. Those are our two main economic sectors. Just for the record.
All right. Thank you, Steve. All right. Yes, sir. And Tom, push that back forward if he's going to come. Okay. All right. Presuming it was leaving. I thought he was wanting to speak. I'm sorry. Is there anyone else who would like to make any comments? Okay. Mr. O'Neill, if you want to come back.
Once again, I'm Jimmy O'Neill, 192 Spencer Road, District 3, Edmond, Texas, I think. Tomorrow night, you're having, tomorrow night, you have a roundtable meeting for the Yonah Preserve Design Plan. It's at 8 o'clock in the evening.
It's in the morning,
You're doing, oh, AM, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But here's the important thing. You've been doing this for a long time, ever since the beginning, even the proposal to get that 1,000 acres.
Yes, sir.
Also, SORVA's been involved with Yonah Preserve. And all of this has been very above board and open. There's been no swamp. And I don't like the insinuation that there was a swamp. That, this is, this has been fully discussed. This is out in the open. Nothing's been hidden. And that's going to be one heck of a tourist attraction when it's done. It's got a wonderful, I think you're invested in our future. I think you're making it much better. And I appreciate what you're doing. I just wanted to say that. Because I just disagree with that gentleman.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else see any comments regarding the proposed budget? All right, I'll give everybody ample time. All right. Well, having none, at this time, I'm going to close the public hearing. We will be having another hearing a week, just for information purposes. We'll be having another roundtable, we'll be having another budget hearing a week from today, as well as a budget, hold on. Of course, my brother has to be here. He's not seen me wearing these yet, and he has to be here with me wearing my glasses.
He's been wearing it for a year.
It's been lying about it.
No one outside of my direct family has seen me wearing these, so.
You notice on Sunday he holds the Bible a little bit farther.
It's getting old. Okay. I'm sorry, we're having a little fun here. Okay, a week from today, we'll be at 4:30, we'll be having a budget adoption meeting. That's today here at the same location. I'm just going to bring that while we're in that same vein. Moving on our consent agenda, don't have anything listed on our consent agenda, nor old business, nor new business. Going to move forward under County Manager. Mr. Melton, any comments or things we need to discuss as a group while we're here?
No, sir, not unless the board has any questions that I can answer.
One thing I give the for the room an update where we are on our paving projects. I know our crews have hit some rain the last couple of weeks, which is needed, but yet slowed us up a little bit. Kind of give us a quick synopsis.
We're waiting on Arthur Allen Road to dry out, and we're waiting on Malden Road and Steve Lewis Road to dry out. Once everything dries out, Mr. Chairman, we can start paving and start getting those roads prepped.
All right.
And we're still working on Stanley next. We're still working on trying to get all the easements on there. There's a lot of easements to obtain on Stanley next road.
And we finish up the resurfacing projects on Mountain Meadows as
Mountain
well
Meadows,
as I call Yonah East.
Yonah East Estates is already done.
Okay.
Those are all completed. They look good.
Commissioner Goodger.
I just asked you, did you want to make an announcement? Make that announcement?
Yes, I will. Thank you. I'm sorry, you got anything?
No.
Commissioner Hoffman?
We good.
Brian? Okay, before I close up, I know we've already had a public hearing, and I don't mean to be redundant or anything like that, but at this time, I want to open the floor up for public participation. If you've got any comments for the good of the cause or kind of any events coming up, now would be the time. Miss Cindy, no, that's wrong, you've always got something, so go. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Actually, something really exciting. I know several of you are Rotarians, and you know that Atlanta is hosting the 100th anniversary of Rotary International, and that's this week. And I'd like to publicly thank Babyland General Hospital, what a great community partner that we have. The Chamber was able to secure a display space to promote White County at the event. There's a 20 by 20 peninsula that the state secured for partners to come in and display and hopefully take advantage of getting people up to their respective areas. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for us, they did not let people know that all 8 of the slots did not fill. Of the 8 slots, there are only 3 that filled, and 2 of them were from White County. Not Yonah, but Kaya Vineyards and the White County Chamber secured a spot, and then Valdosta. Speaking to Margaret Strong and bringing our tourism partners, they're going to actually do a drawing for one of the soft sculpture babies. But to take it a step farther, their design team has created a 20 by 20 booth. And then talking with Valdosta, they have allowed us to include them in that booth. So in other words, we have the whole space. Hot off the press is a design of the booth that Babyland has created. So there's a front, a back, and a side. Put your glasses back on. And I'll pass that along. And then one other thing is summer activities are on. Amanda Regard in our office put together all kinds of activities for the summer. So we had too many for the entire summer. So we have a brochure for June and one for July. So there's a lot of activities going on at the Parks and Rec, the library, several of our attractions that are geared primarily to programs for students.
All right. Okay. Any other public comments? Yes, ma'am.
My name's Hilary Johnson. I live at 110 Asa Dorsey Road. I'm currently president of the Friends of the Library, and I'm not here to ask you for money. I just want to say thank you very much for providing the money to, or part of the money, to put in the automatic doors in the library. And the e-books and everything you do, it's just, the library is just such a wonderful resource for everybody in the county, especially the children. And cannot thank you enough. I mean, if you could squeeze a few more dollars out, I'm sure Mike would.
Hold on just a second. We've done quite a not going. I'm sorry.
Everybody's.
We're digging deeper.
I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, I will say this on behalf of the board. I had the opportunity to attend Ms. Hunt's retirement last Wednesday, and that was a nice event. And for Ms. Glenda Hunt, 25 years, correct? She's not old enough to retire. She'll get mad at me for saying that. She's not. I know she's not. But she did, and we're going to miss her. She did a phenomenal job there at the library. And I shared with Mr. Humphreys last week on behalf of the board. I'm sorry it took us so long to figure out we needed to put automatic doors on the library. I mean, it's just one of those things. We didn't think about it until it was brought to our attention. So I do apologize.
Yeah. It came up when Michael had talked about getting a special computer.
But
It
anyway,
saved us a lot of fundraising. Thank you very much.
thank you for what you guys do. Before we close, if there's anyone else, I'll give an opportunity. At the chair's discretion, one thing, and Mr. O'Neill, I'm meant to just a minute ago, we got on some other tangents. And I'll be glad to share this with you after the meeting. Of course, during the recession, the county did not give any pay adjustments from 2009, 10, 11, or 12. But starting in 2013, the 2013 budget, the Board of Commissioners gave a 3% cost of living increase. In 2014, in that particular budget, the board voted to reinstate the retirement plan. I'm going off memory, was probably around $250,000. I'm going off memory, so.
I just want our workers taken care of.
No, understand, but I'm sharing this with you as a point of clarification. And then in 2015, we gave it another 3%. COLA as well as a merit came to a total of 3% increase. Then 2016 budget, the commissioners gave a 5% increase, depending on years of service, to employees up to 5%. With those who made over a certain amount, only getting 2.5%, because we wanted to make sure for those, and I'm just going to be blunt, who are a little older, who had not been here as long or lower on the totem pole, we wanted to let them know that we did recognize their contributions. And then the current 2017 budget, the sheriff's office did receive a increase. And then for this budget that Mr. Melton just alluded to, right at $200,000, the Board of Commissioners is eating that increase. We're not, that total amount is not being passed along to our employees. the commissioners are eating that out of health insurance. Actually, when I say we are, the taxpayers are. So what I'm saying is, there's the one step increase we possibly could have given up to this point is going in the way of a benefit in our health insurance program. So I just wanted to get
But can
the
you
fact.
fill vacant positions is the question. See, if you're not filling positions, then it's still not competitive. See, that's what I'm saying.
I understand, but I just want to make that as a point of clarification. The last 5, well, 1, 2,
You have what,
3, 4,
about 200
5,
employees?
approximately, yes, sir. So I just want to make a note of clarification. We have reinstituted pay raises when feasible, because we are held accountable to the citizens of White County. Because every one of us, we go home, we got to balance our checkbook just like everybody else does. And you can't spend more than you got coming out. You can't
Okay.
spend more than you got coming in. So.
Can I just say one thing? I appreciate you even having a conversation, but and I'm just pulling this out of the air. If you have about 200 employees and you give each one of them $100 a week extra, that comes to $5,200 a year, and 200 times that would be about $1,020,000. And that would be about $1.25 million. And it's probably worth it if it keeps employees and it fills positions.
Well, one thing, and I'm going to close on this, we as a community need to do a better job on retaining and managing succession of our employees. And I'll be direct on that. I believe that wholeheartedly. Having said that, we're going to move on and do some announcements. I guess we stated a few minutes ago, we are having a roundtable meeting tomorrow morning. There will be representation from the Board of Commissioners at this meeting at 8 a.m. in the morning for the owner preserve design plans. Again, we have a budget adoption meeting a week from today at 4:30, same time, same place, June 12th. June 26th at 3:30, we'll be having a reception for Mr. Bill House, who is our county attorney. Mr. House is retiring, and those in the audience may have had an opportunity to meet Mr. House over the years in the various arenas, because he contributes a lot of his time, in particular, I think, in the Saltee and Coochie area on some matters. He's going to be retiring, and we're going to be celebrating, his retirement, as well as recognizing Miss Mary Jane Hinkie has been at a previous meeting, been voted on by the board to be retained as the county's counsel going forward. Miss Hinkie has done work for Mr. House over the last few years and has a working knowledge with the county, and has done stuff we've had going on as well. So we're looking forward to working with her. You'll get an opportunity to meet her, hopefully at that meeting as well. That's at 3:30 on June 26th. And then at 4:30 that same day, we are having a work session and combined regular meeting because the following week is July 3rd and 4th. A lot of folks are going to be gone that particular week, so we're doing a combined meeting on June 26th. Therefore, we will not be having a commission meeting on July 3rd. I sounded redundant there for a little bit, didn't I? Folks, I hope everyone has a good evening. Have a great week. Be safe tonight. I think we've got some rain coming in. Gentlemen, I have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioner Bryant first, Commissioner Nick second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Folks, have a good evening. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mr. Nick.